So today's topic is reproductive health, related to the chapter of reproduction. How do organisms reproduce? Okay, so here in the reproductive health, where we have to identify that whether the person is reproductively healthy or not. So how will we identify? By seeing the total well-being in all the aspects of reproduction. So when we consider reproduction as the physiological process, so here we can see that whether a person is reproductively healthy by seeing his physical features, emotional, social behavior, and the behavior towards his partners or behavior towards the society should also be taken care of. So if in all these aspects a person is healthy, then we can say that this a person is having his reproductive health, which is very good. So physically, emotionally, socially, and behaviorally, the person must be mature enough to deal with all the situation that is leading to reproduction or production of his or her family. So any situation that creates a problem in these four stages, that is physical, emotional, social behavior, will lead to the problems in the reproductive health. So if a boy and girl is mature enough, the body growth continuously goes on and sexual maturation is gradually growing in. So it does not mean that if the body is physically fit and emotionally also the person is fit enough, but whether that person is ready for bringing up the children which he or she wants to give birth, this type of thought should come into the mind to a person who is thinking of this type of situation, that I want to reproduce or want to run the family, whether he is capable to bring his children or not. That is the most important thing. So any of such activities from the pressure of the society or from the pressure of the friends can give rise to different types of problems, which as an adolescent you cannot understand, but the situation will give rise to certain difficulties that you cannot overcome. So the way that you deal your life with, like emotionally or socially or behaviorally, is very, very important. You have to be mature enough so that you can take on with your life in a definite pattern, so that there may be no problems arising due to your family life. So if you are aged enough and society is forcing you to get married and have children, but that will depend on your behavior, your attitude, your mental development, whether you are accepting this as a challenge from the society, or you want to mature yourself much more so that you can take your life forward. So what I am going to tell about this, that reproductive health is not only considering the reproduction aspect but the mental health too. And we should all consider the side effects of having a family too early if the person is not mature enough. So for this, we have to see to some of the points, that is the reproductive health can be maintained by what? By family planning programs, by creating awareness, by providing facilities and support for the building of reproductively healthy society. And in our country, there is reproductive and child health care, who are spreading the awareness by media, by newspapers, by audiovisual methods, posters and paintings, so to create awareness about the different types of hazards that can come in front in our life due to unhealthy reproductive life, and also providing facilities and support for building reproductively healthy society. These programs are followed by reproductive and child health care. So, when the adolescents don't know about the negative impacts of having partners and experimenting with sex, then it is clearly understood that the intimate connection of the bodies can lead to sexually transmitted infections or sexually transmitted diseases, because unprotected sex is not good for the health, also health wise, and also not for the future life. So this leads to what? Sexually transmitted infections when there is unprotected sex. So what happens in this sexually transmitted infections? What happens? The infections and diseases are transmitted through what? Sexual intercourse. When there is mating between two partners, then it's called what? Sexual intercourse. During this time, what can happen? Sexually transmitted infections can transfer from one person to another. Okay, these are called what? STIs, sexually transmitted infection, venereal diseases, or reproductive tract infections, or RTIs. So under this you can see the names like gonorrhea, syphilis, herpes, chlamydiasis, genital warts, okay, HIV, AIDS, hepatitis B. All these are the possible diseases that can be transmitted from one person to another through the intercourse process or during the sexual act. Okay, so this type of infections of the genital tracts can lead to death. Out of these diseases, hepatitis B, genital herpes, and HIV are not curable at all. Some medicines can be given to just prolong the life of an individual, but there are no cure for these diseases. Even if there is early detection, but still there is no cure for hepatitis B, genital herpes, and HIV. So what can be the symptoms of these, the reproductive tract infection? Like itching, some fluid can also come out from the reproductive part. There can be pain and swelling in the reproductive regions, and also the pelvic inflammatory diseases. So different types of symptoms we can get, which is mainly localized in the reproductive part itself, in the reproductive organs, that leads to the diseases like the genital herpes or syphilis or gonorrhea or chlamydiasis that we have recently talked about. So then how to control this type of infections, and also how to control the population. For that we need to motivate the families, so that if this is family person, then they can use the contraceptive methods. Different types of contraceptive methods can be used, which will help to reduce the population, and also to will help in reducing the transmission of sexually transmitted disease. The marriageable age should be increased to for the females is 18 and male is 21, and for population growth incentives can be given, so that if there is a small family, they can get some extra benefits from the government. Prevent the sexually transmitted disease, and also to control the population growth which is ever rising, these contraceptives can be used. Now what type of contraceptives can be used, which can be user friendly, which can be easily available and effective, with very least side effects or no side effects at all? So for that there are different methods of contraceptives which will control the birth process, that is natural, barriers, IUDs. There can be oral contraceptives also, injectables, implants, and there are surgical methods also. So what are these methods? These methods are for contraceptives which will prevent the birth of an individual, and also will prevent the sexually transmitted diseases. So what do you mean by this contraceptive? These are the things that are used. These are the methods that are used to prevent the pregnancy. Unwanted pregnancy can be prevented by using this contraceptive, and also this will lead to a healthy life of an individual. if the person is not ready to give birth, then also these contraceptives are quite useful in that case. Just now we have spoken about the barrier methods, in that we can use this thin rubber sheet type material, that is called what the condoms, which are also called the mechanical barrier, so that they will not allow the sperm to reach the egg. So this will also prevent the sexually transmitted diseases and also the AIDS, hepatitis B. This will be prevented by wearing this condoms. These are used by the male and the female both. So male can wear it in their reproductive part and the female can wear it in their vagina, so that the eggs will not be fertilized by the sperms which is released from the male. For the female, we can talk about the diaphragm, cervical caps and walls, which are made up of rubber, and these are reusable also, which to cover the cervix of the uterus. Now in the female, intrauterine devices can be also used as contraceptive methods. This can be inserted in the uterus through the vagina. There are various types like Lippes loop, Copperty, CU7, Multilode 375, Progestert and LNG20. So different types of devices can be used which can be placed inside the uterus to prevent the pregnancy. Again, we can say that IUDs are ideal to maintain the gapping between the child. There are certain pills also which are called the oral pills, which are having the progestogen and estrogen combination, that is the female hormones, and this type of pills can also be given to the females so that the pregnancy is not there, or they will eliminate if there is any implantation. This will inhibit the implantation of the zygote into the uterus. So to prevent the pregnancy, pills can also be given to the female partner. Like during the menstrual cycle, 1 to 5 days, the first 5 days the tablets can be taken, and there is a 7 days gap, and again the tablets can be repeated after 21 days. So this type of pills can be given, and this has proved helpful in controlling the pregnancy and also to maintain a reproductive health. Now there are surgical methods also to make the male infertile or sterilized, where the vas deferens that is present in the male reproductive tract can be removed and tied, so that the sperms may not travel from the male genital tract to the female. So they are cut and tied. And in the female, there is this called the tubectomy, where the fallopian tube of the uterus, that is the oviduct, is cut and tied, so that the egg may not meet the sperms. So both the processes can be done. This is vasectomy for the male, and this is tubectomy for the female, where the fallopian tube is cut and tied, and the vasectomy is where the vas deferens is removed or tied. So in both the cases, the union between the sperm and the egg is not allowed. Okay. Effects of contraceptives can include nausea, there can be abdominal pain, there can be bleeding, there can be breast cancer, and also an ill feeling. So many side effects are there, but still the positive effects are much more. So everyone has to be aware to use this contraceptive methods. Even if the person goes for operation, there can be slightly irritation also in the reproductive organs when you go for surgical methods like tubectomy and vasectomy. So these contraceptive methods are quite useful in the long run, so to prevent pregnancy and also to control population, and also to prevent each individual from the reproductive tract infections. There is a process which is called amniocentesis, where the amniotic fluid, that is the fluid inside which the fetus grows in the uterus of the mother. So this type of testing of the fluid will show the abnormality, if at all present, in a child. So any genetic problem can be determined by the testing of this fluid which surrounds the fetus or the baby inside the mother's womb. So if you test this amniotic fluid, this testing is called amniocentesis. From here, the genetic defects can be found out. But this is also sometimes misused for sex determination, to find out whether the fetus that is growing inside the mother body is a girl child or a boy child. So for sex determination also amniocentesis can be used. So nowadays what has happened, to check the female feticide. So if someone finds out that this is a girl, and in some states of India, what they do, they kill the girl child, right? So to avoid this, now amniocentesis is banned. So the process of checking this amniotic fluid is banned now, to find out the sex of the child, because female fetus are killed in different states of India. So to ban this, because we need a balance between the male and the female ratio, so to ban this, amniocentesis is also banned. Sex determination is banned. Only this amniocentesis can be done to find out any genetic problem, if it is there at all in the fetus who is growing inside the mother's body or not. So this is fetal cell analysis to find out the genetic disorder. So no sex determination is allowed. This is prohibited by law. So already we know that world population is increasing at an alarming rate, and all the researches are being done nowadays to reduce the population, because if the population will grow at an alarming rate, then there will be a scarcity of the basic needs of the human being. So new researches are done to find out the new methods of birth control, to create awareness about the sex related matters, to increase the number of medically assisted deliveries. Here medically assisted deliveries means whenever the child is delivered, there should be one doctor or nurse present, so that the delivery will not be like in a house. It should be done by the medically trained doctors or nurses. So their researches are also done for better postnatal care also, and for the detection and cure of the sexually transmitted diseases. So the overall there is increase. This type of research is also done to increase the medical facilities for all the sex related problems, so that the world can lead to an improved reproductive society, healthy society. So there will be, these researches are taken so that there is improved reproductive health of the society, and also the population rate is also controlled, so that everyone living in our country and around the world get the basic necessities of their life to survive in this world in a good condition. So we have completed this part of the chapter which dealt with reproductive health, population control, and different methods of contraception, and also the different types of sexually transmitted diseases, and the researches that are being taken to make a society reproductively healthy. So I think all of you have followed this part of the chapter, and in the next class we will be starting with the new chapter, and before that try to correlate the chapter with the video and try to understand the points that I have described in the video. If you have not followed, you can message me in my WhatsApp number so that we can clear your doubts together.